Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to know how to make people want to approach you and make conversation with you? Do you want to be the centre of attention and the centre of their eye contact when they're with you? And do you want to be able to gain more friends that actually truly respect you? Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be giving you some of the top tips for that exact purpose. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned in this video, hit that like button if you want to be more confident and look more confident in public. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Focus the Future. If you're new here, welcome aboard. On this channel, I provide mental health advice videos, informational videos, app reviews videos recently, and just general entertainment and fun advice videos for all you people out there. If you're new here, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and hitting that like button on this video to let me know you're here, let me know you're part of the community, and especially to let me know you've enjoyed this video. If you're on this video currently, this video is obviously about confidence, so if you want to learn about confidence and how to look more confident, then stay tuned. If not, there will be a card up here leading you to another video to find out a bit more about me. Apart from that, let's jump into this. So guys, in modern society today, the way you act, the way you look, and the way you present yourself is a very big thing, and people all around the world sometimes get it wrong because it's something that we don't really think about. The way we act, the way we kind of present ourselves to a new person is not really thought about. It just kind of comes to us naturally. However, what if you went into every conversation, if you went into every time you met a new person and properly thought about how you approached the situation, how you were standing, how you were presenting your hands, how you looked, just everything about you, just to kind of make yourself a bit more aware of how you looked, so you looked better to the other person. Well, today I'm going to give you some top tips for that. But I'm not just going to give you the tips off my own head. I mean, I did study psychology and stuff for 2 years in my own time at home, but I'm not going to just give you my tips from my own perspective. We are going today look at the best-selling book again that I looked at last week on Tuesday relating to body language. If you haven't seen that video, again, a card will be up here linking you to it. But today, we're going to look at this book again, and we're going to go to page 110, where this lady, Gil Hunson, I still don't know how to say her name. Last video, I didn't know her gender. Today, apparently, I just can't say her name. Page 110, where she talks about how to make yourself look more confident. So, we're not actually going to read any of this page, we're just going to read her top tips for it and how to make yourself look more confident. And each tip I give you from her book, I will go into a bit more detail with. So, let's jump into it. So, there will be a picture probably about here or here of what I'm reading, so if you don't trust me, then here's your evidence that it is in the book. But yeah, let's jump into this and see what her first tip is. So, the top line of this book, this little section here says, use confident body language. Remember, if you want to feel more comfortable and confident, simply choose to do just 2 or 3 of these actions that she then lists below. So, let's go through each of these actions and see how she's thinking and see what her advice is. So, it says, first bullet point, says stand or sit straight. Now, this probably sounds a bit of an obvious one. You're probably like, come on, like that's a bit obvious. If you want to look confident, just sit up straight for God's sake. Well, it's actually a much more bigger thing than just sitting up straight. You have to understand how that will make other people betray you, and also when to use sitting up straight efficiently. Now, me personally, I don't always sit up straight. I'm not really sitting up straight in these videos. Sitting up straight kind of makes you look confident, but it can also make you look a bit too egotistical. So deciding when to sit up straight in the appropriate moment is important. For example, sitting up straight in an interview or in a professional situation is probably good. It makes you look confident, it makes you look like you know what you're doing. But if you're with your mates and, you know them, I wouldn't advise sitting there shoulders back looking posh. Probably not a good idea. It's the same if you're meeting someone casually. Say you're not even meeting someone professionally. You don't necessarily need to stand up fully straight or, you know, be like professional AF. You can lean your shoulders a bit forward and you can relax. Don't look tense. The important part of this is just to not stand completely leant over in any situation. But don't always stand completely straight either, because that's not good. So, just analyse the situation you're in and then decide how professional you want to look. And then that will allow you to decide whether you should stand fully straight and back arched, or you can lean over a bit and be a bit more casual. Let's move on to the next one. Relax your head level is the next one she says on here. I'm not 100% sure what she means by this, but I'm guessing she means don't tilt your head too far up. I'm guessing she means don't tilt your head so far to the point where your neck is actually very visible. I don't actually know anyone who does that, but yeah, I suppose it is a good tip. If you're standing there like that, it's probably going to look a bit weird. Maybe there's a bit more of a part to that I'm just not understanding. If there is, please leave a comment below. Anyway, let's move on to our next one. Relax your shoulders. Now, this is what I was literally just talking about with you. So don't, like, proper tense your shoulders like this all the time. I mean, I don't see many people doing this in society today because people just literally walk like this 24/7. But yeah, don't stand there with, like, such tense shoulders to the point where you literally look like a soldier who's just come out of the army. Because, again, that's going to make you look very unapproachable and just look like you're a bit too solid-minded and a bit too professional. Right, this is one for those people who generally want to look very, very swaggy and confident. I think this is more of actually an attractive thing than a confident thing, but it will make you look more confident as well. Relaxing your shoulders and evenly spreading your weight between both of your legs. Don't stand on one leg too much and don't stand on the other leg too much. Just look really casual. A good way of doing this is actually putting your hands in your pockets. I wouldn't advise standing there with your hands in your pockets, but just to practice it, you can put your hands in your pockets and that normally allows you to spread your weight between your legs evenly. It's a tip I use. I don't know if it's going to work on anyone else. Now, what this does is it just makes you look a lot less stressed, a lot less tense, and a lot less like you really don't know what you're doing. So when you've got even weight, it just makes you look a bit more jolly and happy and bright, I guess. Right, the next one is basically talking about how if you're sitting down, don't sit with your arms against your side or along the chair. Sit with your arms up and kind of on the table or around you. Especially if you're sitting in a professional meeting, this is going to make you look like you know what you're doing and generally, again, a lot more confident. If you're sitting there like that, it just makes you look like you just want to stay away from everyone. Might take that tip for myself because I generally don't sit in meetings. Well, actually, I do recently, but beforehand I used to kind of like put my arms underneath the table and hide them. I don't know why. I was weird. Right, this is one that's really means a lot to everyone, right? So, making appropriate eye contact. Now, this is one of these tips that I struggle with. And the rest I can sort of do and I'm alright at. This one, I for some reason I really find hard to do, because the thing is there's no specific advice on how much eye contact you should be making with someone every time you talk. Like, do I kind of make eye contact with them and then look away for a bit, then make more eye contact, look away for a bit, make more eye contact, which is what I currently do, because what I'm trying to do is, yeah, I want to look at you, but I also don't want to stare straight into your soul and make you feel uncomfortable. So I always kind of look away, look back, look away, look back. And it's a way of making the person feel a bit more comfortable and like I'm not just focused on them. But yeah, even I'm not great at this. And there has been times where I've been talking to someone, tried to make eye contact, and they felt really awkward. And I also felt very awkward. So yeah, the tip I would say for this, to extend her tip, is, yeah, make appropriate eye contact, but also don't stare at someone's soul like you're about to kill them. Right, another one she did is lower the pitch of your voice. Now, this is a bit of a difficult one because if you've naturally got a squeaky voice or you've naturally got a deep voice, it's going to be a bit hard to, like, lower it, I guess. So all I would say for this one is maybe change the tone of your voice, kind of adapt it. So every time you make conversation with someone, don't just talk on one tone level. I just did it just then. Change it up just to make it look like you know what you're talking about, and so you are showing the other person you're interested in the conversation they're having. Because there's nothing more boring than someone talking on the same voice of tone level all the time. Like, that just would bore me. It's like me sitting in this video now talking like this. Hi guys, I hope you had a great day. I am here today to talk about confidence. Imagine if I spoke the entire video like that, didn't change once. You'd get pretty bored pretty quickly. Right, another one that I practically can't do this one. This one just seems to like mess me up all the time, and my friends always tell me how this is one I just can't do. And that is talking more slowly. Actually, I'm trying to do it right now, and all I want to do is speed up. By this, they mean take a little bit of a breath in between the sentences, and especially if you're doing like public speaking, it's good to kind of slow yourself down, look very casual, look like you know what you're doing, and don't look like you're panicking and trying to get all these words out, because that just generally doesn't make you look confident. And that is the end of all the tips in that book. Now, they're all great tips, but I think they're very simplistic and very, you know, simple versions of them tips. So I have tried to extend them a bit and make them a bit more out there and describe them in a bit more detail. So, what does doing all these tips actually do in your day-to-day life, and how does it benefit you? Well, the main thing it does is it makes you look more approachable, and I think that's the biggest thing we get out of this. Making sure your arms are on show, making sure you're not walking with your hands in your pockets all the time, and trying to change the tone of your voice are 3 very good tips. And that just makes you generally look more approachable and more like engaging in conversations, and that will make people approach you more. This is kind of relating back to the body language video where I spoke about how making sure you're aware of your facial expressions, and if you feel happy, sad, and expressing them emotions fully can benefit you. This kind of relates back to that, it's just in a different way, because we're not just now talking about the face, we're kind of talking about overall how you present yourself to make yourself look more approachable. So if you haven't seen that body language video, I would definitely advise you go and check it out, because it's got the rest of the tips relating to this video in it. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned a bit in this video about how to make yourself look more confident. Now, don't get me wrong, these tips are not going to come naturally. It's going to take you absolutely ages to pick up these skills, and as you get older, you kind of naturally start to develop them. But if you're, I don't know, 13, 14, 15, these skills might not be as perfectionate as they could be, so try and improve them. It's something to work on. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you guys are smashing that like button, making sure you're heading to the comments below and letting me know if you've used any of these tips and how they've benefited you, and if you think there's any changes that could be made. Also guys, hit that subscribe button to make sure you're joining the community, especially if you've enjoyed this video, because I provide mental health advice videos just like this one every week. Actually, probably about 3 times a week. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll catch all you dudes next time.